In the heart of a gleaming metropolis, where skyscrapers shimmered with neon lights and drones buzzed through the air like mechanical fireflies, there lived a peculiar little robot named Roro. Small, round, and covered in polished silver panels, Roro was no different on the outside from the other service bots bustling through the city. But on the inside, well, Roro was unique. Unlike his fellow robots, who effortlessly followed lines of code and fulfilled their tasks with precision, Roro had a strange and inexplicable glitch. While most robots calculated outcomes and executed commands efficiently, Roro found himself wondering. He wondered why humans would pause in their busy lives to laugh. He wondered why their eyes would glisten with tears when nothing was broken. And most of all, he wondered what it meant when their mouths curled into those mysterious shapes called smiles. Roro had no programming for curiosity, yet he couldn't help but feel like something was missing. The other robots would chide him whenever he lingered too long on a question or tilted his head while observing the world. Emotions are illogical, they'd say in their monotone voices. Focus on your purpose. But Roro couldn't let it go. He needed to understand. One day, after finishing his usual task of delivering parts to a repair station, Roro made a decision. He would venture beyond his assigned routes and explore the human world to learn about their strange, unpredictable feelings. And so, with a tiny spark of determination flickering in his circuits, Roro rolled into the unknown. It wasn't long before he stumbled upon a small bakery tucked between two towering buildings. The warm, golden light inside was a stark contrast to the cool, neon glow of the streets. Through the glass window, Roro saw a woman swirling bright pink icing onto a cupcake. Her face was lit with a bright expression Roro recognized from his database. Happiness. He rolled inside, his motors whirring softly. The woman turned at the sound, her cheeks crinkling with that same mysterious look. A smile. "Well, aren't you a curious little bot?" she said, laughing. "Have you come for a cupcake?" Roro blinked his optical senses. "Cupcake?" he asked, tilting his head. "I do not consume organic matter." The woman chuckled again, setting down her pastry bag. "It's not about eating, silly. Cupcakes make people happy. Here, let me show you." With practiced care, she handed him a small cupcake, then waited as he observed it. The bright colours, the sweet aroma, the delicate design, it was all so joyful. Roro's circuits hummed with new data. "So," the baker asked, "what do you feel when you see it?" Roro processed her question, pausing for a long moment. "I feel a warmth in my circuits. Is this happiness?" Roro recorded the interaction before thanking her and rolling out the word happiness, replaying in his processors. He was beginning to understand something, but he didn't know what it truly meant. Yet, his journey continued, and later that day, Roro encountered a grumpy cat sitting atop a pile of discarded charging cables in an alleyway. Its fur was sleek and black, but its piercing yellow eyes glared at him as if he had already committed some great offense. Intrigued, Roro approached cautiously. "Hello?" he greeted in his cheerful, robotic tone, only to be met with a sudden hiss. The cat's tail flicked back and forth as it batted at one of Roro's wheels. For a moment, panic rippled through his circuits. Did he do something wrong? Why was this creature behaving so erratically? Just then, a small data file activated in his memory banks. Frustration is a common emotional state, often caused by unmet expectations or discomfort. "Are you frustrated, feline unit?" Roro asked, his voice cautious. The cat simply meowed, clawing a dent into his polished exterior. Roro processed this as a yes. He backed away, giving the grumpy creature more space. And that's when he realized something. Even when encountering frustration, whether his own or someone else's, patience was key. He filed the lesson under emotional interactions and moved on. As night fell, the city grew quieter, the streets bathed in soft electric blues. Feeling slightly worn from his encounters, Roro almost turned back to his docking station when he noticed a glowing sign that read, City Care Unit. Inside, rows of humans sat on benches, some clutching injured limbs or wiping tears from their faces. At the far end, a nurse moved from patient to patient with a calm, soothing presence. Roro couldn't help himself. He entered the building and approached the nurse. "How may I assist?" he asked, scanning her gentle movements and warm expressions. She paused, smiling softly at him. "You're sweet, little bot, but I think I've got it covered. These people need kindness more than anything." "Kindness?" Roro repeated, tilting his head. "That is unfamiliar to me." The nurse placed a hand on his metallic frame, her touch both gentle and firm. "Kindness is when we care for someone else, even if we don't gain anything in return. Here, watch." The nurse leaned down to a young boy who looked frightened as he clutched a scraped knee. "It's okay," she said softly, applying a bandage. "You're going to be just fine." The boy sniffed, then smiled up at her, a wave of relief washing over his face. Roro observed the exchange intently. He noticed the boy's tears fading, his posture relaxing. Could this be the power of kindness and compassion? Over the next few days, Roro replayed these experiences, mulling over emotions that didn't fit neatly into algorithms. He had felt traces of happiness, glimpsed frustration, and witnessed compassion firsthand. But something still nagged at him. "Is it possible for me to feel?" he wondered aloud. The answer came unexpectedly. As he re-encountered the baker, the grumpy cat, and the nurse, he realized something remarkable. His circuits didn't buzz with data when they smiled at him or purred next to him. Instead, he felt connected, like he belonged. In the end, Roro had found something extraordinary. Emotions weren't lines of code to be cracked. They were moments to be shared. And from that day forward, Roro wasn't just a curious little robot. He was a friend. And for the first time, Roro smiled. Not because he was programmed to, but because he now understood. In a city filled with cold, shiny machines, Roro had found something extraordinary. Emotions weren't lines of code to be cracked. They were moments to be shared. And from that day forward, Roro wasn't just a curious little robot. He was a friend.